These are the Ponzi Papers. The Ponzi Papers are 26 articles written by investigative journalist Max Azzarello, who tragically passed away April 19th, 2024. I learned about Max spreading pamphlets and wondered what they said. I couldn't find anything on YouTube about his theories, so I decided to read his articles from Substack and Instagram here. As the narrator, I do not endorse or support anything he writes and do not claim any authorship. I simply find his writings interesting and wanted to share them with everyone else. I am not a professional YouTuber. Please forgive my poor production quality. Part 14, Crime School Summary. An overview of organized crime at Harvard, Stanford, and NYU. Posted November 5th, 2023. Harvard University. As was reported earlier this year, Harvard Medical School has a body part theft ring. The world's most notorious blackmail artist, Jeffrey Epstein, had a fantastical science program called the Program for Evolutionary Dynamics. Once you understand that bogus science is perfect for Ponzi schemes, we know that Epstein was up to. He ran a Ponzi factory at Harvard. Although they cut ties with Epstein, they've still got the Launch Lab X Geo Ponzi factory up and running. They created Facebook, which committed egregious money laundering with their Libra cryptocurrency for the express purpose of surveillance, control, and to tribalize us completely. For a bonus here, you'll find Mark Zuckerberg's dad shilling for one of Stanford's Ponzi schemes. Stanford University. They birthed well-known financial criminals Elizabeth Holmes and Sam Bankman-Fried. They run an $8 billion Ponzi factory called StartX.com, crawling with fantastical science companies with impossible claims and fake evidence. They played an outsized role in creating the cryptocurrency Super Ponzi. A Stanford startup called Klinkle was used to move their criminal investments They birthed the PayPal Mafia, which provided most of the early crypto investments, and they cheekily admitted that Bitcoin was the first ever distributed planetary scale Ponzi scheme on this event flyer. Write case studies like this one that serve as criminal recruitment tools, identifying students who have no ethical qualms with unregulated offshore banking. NYU. Their President's Global Council and their dozen unaccredited global academic centers serve as similar purpose to the Clinton Global Initiative, international money laundering under the guise of goodwill and education. They've had dozens of student deaths, which appear to be a combination of several political revenge killings and fallout from NYU's blackmail ring that Jeffrey Epstein got his start at. The NYU Tisch professor Antonio Monda left a calling card implicating himself in the death of kick-ass author David Foster Wallace on his Wikipedia page. In the article, we heard Max say that there was a poster here where they note that Bitcoin and Bubble, John H. Cochran, professor of Stanford University, March 29th, 2018. Another part of the article, Max brings up that case studies like this were done at Stanford University with criminal intent. So when we click on that, we actually get this article here. So this is the much talked about Robert Joss, professor and dean emeritus of finance. And this is Stanford Business, Westpac offshore bank accounts in the Cook Islands A and B by Mark Leslie Robert Joss, 2010. This case study presents two vignettes from the perspective of Laura White, a newly promoted manager of the Cook Islands operations for a large Australian bank. In Vignette A, White learns of the existence of an offshore banking unit, OBU, the source of significant revenue of the island's economy, in which the customers' identities are unknown. The bank has just brought on a new CEO who has emphasized the importance of transparency and knowing your customer. Given the context of the CEO's philosophy and White's new role as manager, she must decide whether or not to raise her concerns to her manager regarding the OBU. Vignette B provides further history on White's previous experience with an ethical scandal in the bank. After having been told by her manager that bringing more attention to the Cook Islands OBU banking operations will only cause more problems, she must decide once again if and how to evaluate the issue. This download material, so I think I have to pay for this, but that was interesting. Okay, so another link I wanted to click on was this one. They have dozens of student deaths at NYU. So when I click on that, it brings me to this, which is a Google Word document that Max left. So this is more Max writings I've never seen before, and this is really interesting. Okay, whoa. How many pages are here? 4 pages. Okay, let's go through this quick. This was copied from this document. This document. NYU suicide statistics. This rabbit hole just gets deeper and deeper. Whoa. This is 3 pages. So below are sources that were used to populate the charts. Number of confirmed NYU suicide, students only, since 1990, 16 total. And number of confirmed NYU suicide, students and staff, since 1990, 19 total. Confirmed incidents and accidental student deaths were included in the footnotes for clarity. Please email Caroline Haskins at chaskins@nyunews.com if any relevant incidents were not included. 1992, staff suicide, Alan Epstein. What? Alan Epstein. New York Times, sued on implants. Doctors, okay, I gotta pay. Okay, so I can't read that. I gotta pay for it. 1993, student suicide, unnamed. Student suicide, E.G. Kaneko. 1998, staff suicide, Jeffrey Chazen. Accidental student death, Alwyn James Warfel. Student murder in Bronx remains unsolved, Washington Square News. Accidental student death, Dennis Man Ho Yun. Wow, there's a lot here. So student deaths, this is a long list of student deaths leading all the way to 2017. To speak with a crisis counselor, NYU. So this must have been like taken off of a list of NYU's website. Okay. My gratitude to Caroline Haskins. Caroline Haskins was the person at NYU News. Okay. Maybe we should contact Caroline Haskins. And others who contributed. I would not have developed this theory without it. Below are the sources that were used to populate the charts. Number of confirmed NYU suicides and number of confirmed NYU students and staff since 1990, 19 total, by Caroline Haskins. Confirmed incidents of accidental student deaths were included in this footnote for clarity. Updated March 6, 2022, this document was updated to include 5 student suicides that were not included in the original document by Haskins. Below are the sources that were used to report Bob's Library Enduring History of Suicide by Alyssa Goldberg. Contact Goldberg at NYU News. Rachel Fathom at NYU News, or Trace Miller at NYU News if any relevant incidences were not included. When we click here for body part theft ring, former Harvard morgue manager, 4 others charged in theft and sale of human body parts. Prosecutors allege scheme ran from 2018 to this year of 2023. Harvard Medical School. A former manager at the Harvard Medical School morgue, his wife, and 3 other people have been indicted in the theft and sale of human body parts, federal prosecutors in Pennsylvania announced Wednesday. Cedric Lodge, 55, and Goffstown, New Hampshire, stole dissected portions of cadavers that were donated to the school in the scheme that stretched from 2018 to early 2013, according to court documents. The body parts were taken without the school's knowledge or permission, authorities said, adding that the school has cooperated with the investigation. Lodge sometimes took the body parts, which included heads, brains, skin, and bones, back to his home, where he lived with his wife, Denise, 63, and some remains were sent to buyers through the mail, authorities said. Lodge also allegedly allowed buyers to come to the morgue to pick what remains they wanted to buy. Wow. What else does Max have for us with links here? Program for Evolutionary Dynamics. The Guardian. Harvard closes Evolutionary Center. Oh, my goodness. Get out of here. Harvard closes Evolution Center after finding connections to Jeffrey Epstein. Investigation finds center's director, Martin Nowak, devoted a page to a disgraced wealthy financier on the center's website. Harvard University's program for evolutionary dynamics is to close after an inquiry into ties between its director, Martin Nowak, and sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. According to the university, the mathematics and biology professor violated several university policies through his contacts with Epstein, including giving the disgraced wealthy financier an office on campus, which he visited more than 40 times between 2010 and 2018. Epstein, 66, was charged with sex trafficking in 2019, shortly before he was found dead in his cell in the Metropolitan Corrections Center in New York. Epstein had faced an indictment accusing him of running a sex trafficking ring of underage girls, some as young as 14. The review also found that Nowak devoted a page to Epstein on the center's website that included links to the financier's websites. The university received $9.1 million in gifts from Epstein, including a donation of $6.5 million to the evolutionary dynamics faculty in 2006. In instances where his actions did not constitute policy violations per se, those actions still demonstrated a pattern of blameworthy negligence and unprofessional behavior in his responsibilities, Gay wrote. The program for evolutionary dynamics, Gay said, would be shut down as soon as it is feasible. Sounds like a Ponzi scheme. I think that's the bottom of the rabbit hole for today, guys.